A podcast right here on FingerLakes1.tv, where we put a feature and spotlight on locally made products in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York. And featured today we have the Keuka Brewing Company. Now, the Keuka Brewing Company opened their doors to the public in the fall of 2008, and they are the first microbrewery on the Cuca Lake Wine Trail. Now, they're about one of 6 right now that are going to be opening up on the wine trail, which is it's expanding exponentially, and I really am excited about that. But they are on Cuca Lake, overlooking beautiful lake in Hammondsport, and I am lucky to be joined by Mark and Richard Musso, and they won an award this year, and it's really quite the incredible story. 3 of their beers were featured in the Tap New York Award, and thank you guys so much for joining me in the studio with us today. I really appreciate you coming in, and how does it feel?
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Good. How does it feel to win an award like this?
Really good.
Yeah? You're the head brewer over at Keuka Brewing Company.
Yep, I'm in charge of production, and my dad is in charge of all the business.
On the business side. So this is kind of like a tap on the shoulder to your ability to make beer. And you said you learned from your dad?
Yep, he's been a home brewer my whole life, and he kind of showed me the ropes, and I took it from there. Took a couple of certificate classes and read everything I could get my hands on about brewing, and seemed to pay off, I guess.
Yeah, where do you get your inspiration from when it comes to making your beer?
Other people's beer.
Other people's beer. I like to see what it's like. Well, how about you tell us a little bit about the story and how Keuka Brewing Company came to be?
Sure, yeah. Really proud of Mark. The award really was all about him. It was the product, it's what's in the glass that counts. And it really was, he was really responsible for that award. We came to be in 2007. We got our LLC, and we opened the doors in 2008.
In the fall. Yes.
In the fall of 2008.
I think it's perfect time to open up a brewery, release a brewery. It's all the time where harvesting is happening and something. It's like brand new. I think that's great.
It was brand new at that time. We were the only microbrewery. It was the first microbrewery on Cuca Lake, and nobody had really tested the waters at that point. We weren't really sure how well we were going to be received, beer and wine country. As it was, 20 minutes into our opening, we were packed. And we knew we didn't have enough beer to keep going, and we have grown ever since. We probably ran out of beer in the first 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. And
that's incredible.
We quickly doubled our system. We doubled again, and we are in the middle of another expansion.
I'd chalk that up to a win. I'd say that's a W.
Exactly.
Tell me a little about your specialty brews, the ones that you won the Tap New York Award for.
Well, the first one we've been drinking is our Hoppy
Oh, yeah,
Lager
we've already
IPA.
been drinking. It's the IPA.
It's now time. So this is brewed with 4 types of hops, and we also put a little bit of lemon zest in there as well to really kick off.
And you can really taste that fruitiness. Yeah.
Yep.
And you say you get your hops. You outsource, but you also get them from a local farm.
Yep, we work with Rick Peterson at Peterson Farms. He is the biggest hop producer in New York State, and he does really well by us. So he's in
Takes care of you.
Seneca Castle, right, which is just west of Geneva.
Yeah, so it's still staying right here in the Finger
Right,
Lakes
very
region,
local.
which is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yep.
And you say the same thing about your honey. You get your honey for
Yep.
some of your beers as well.
For our spring seasonal, we do a honey kolsch, and we get honey from Wixom Farms in Dresden.
How long have you been doing this? How long have you been really making the beer?
I started brewing as an assistant brewer like 4 years ago, and then I moved into head brewer probably 2.5, 3 years ago.
You really honed your craft, I guess, winning an award like this. That's incredible. Congratulations.
Beer, I'm a quick learner.
Yeah.
If I took anything away from college, it was beer.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Aren't you proud?
Absolutely.
I took away the same thing, except I don't make it. Now, what else happens at the brewery? What else do you guys do over at the brewery? In terms of events, do you guys host any events over there?
We don't do events per se. We had an anniversary party last year, our 5th anniversary. We do a release, it's called an Older Banna series, which is one of the beers that won at Tap New York this year. So we do a part or an event for that release. We just had that a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that Older Banner series this year is, well, tell them a little bit about this one that also won a Tap New York.
Now this is a darker
Yep.
ale. Okay.
So this is an imperial beer, which means it's a little higher alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
We do one every year for the
I'm
past
walking home.
4 years. And this year was an imperial amber rye.
Mhm.
So you actually use rye malt in there, which gives it a little bit of a spicy character to it. And we load it with a bunch of caramel malt too, which gives it a nice sweetness as well. And it's
Cool.
about 9.5% alcohol.
All right, let's see what this one got for me. I'm more of a lighter kind of IPA gal, but
It's very malty. It's got a nice sweetness to it.
that tastes like, what is that, caramel? What does that taste like?
Yeah, it's caramel flavor.
Mm-hmm. It's got great undertone.
That's delicious.
Dangerous.
The very dangerous. It doesn't taste like it's,
9.5%.
yeah.
It's a limited edition. We will be sending 10 kegs down to Manhattan. They'll be pouring that in the city. They are pouring it in Rochester as well, in a limited edition though.
That's
And we
beautiful.
also distribute in 750 milliliter bottles.
Right.
You have a talent, sir.
Thank you.
That is delicious. Oh, I love caramel. So.
It's good beer for
Touch
you
the
then.
core with me.
Oh.
This is delicious.
Yeah.
Now you said spicy, and that brings to my mind a story. You said you have poured for somebody who's far away from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, we do what we call a habanero ale, made with roasted habanero peppers.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some interest in a bar, one of the biggest bar in Puerto Rico, that wants to put it on tap or bottles. I'm not quite sure which.
This is the habanero
Yes,
right here.
that's
Oh, okay.
habanero,
So we
yeah.
actually get to drink it. Okay.
Yeah.
And it has a little bit of heat at the end of it, and they loved it. And a lot of people do. It's on tap at Sticky Lips in Rochester.
Mhm.
There's a couple of bars. that
It's not
have it
often
on
you
tap.
hear of somebody saying like spicy, like a habanero.
Right.
Hotness to it, but
It's
a beer.
style of beer. It's called like a chili beer.
Mhm.
So they use any number of types of peppers in there to put some heat.
Mhm.
And our idea behind this was we wanted something light for light lager drinkers to come in and kind of associate with craft beer, but
Mhm.
we didn't want to do something, too boring. So we decided to make a chili beer out
I
of
would
it.
say it's not boring.
No.
We do a lot of special one-off beers. We'll try to incorporate some type of a flavor.
Yep. There's a spice to it.
And we will try the batch. That's what's nice about being a small brewery. We can try different things, and if it works, we'll keep producing it. If it doesn't, we'll go on to the next.
I'll give you something to calm your down.
Apparently, I'm not good with spice. It's
This is
good,
our,
but you're just spicy. You
Yeah,
weren't
spicy.
kidding. I
Spicy.
was like,
Oh,
it's not gonna be spicy. I like spice. Nope, that's spicy.
So this one should cool you down.
Cool it down a little bit.
This is one of those one-offs he was talking about. We do a white cap wheat, which is our summer seasonal, and we also do a blueberry version, which is this one.
I was gonna say that tastes like blueberries.
Yep. This is our
That's
blueberry
delicious.
white cap wheat.
So we'll take a flavor, something we want to
Pursue.
that type of aroma, flavor, spice, and incorporate that into a beer and see how it works.
See
You'll
how well it's received.
Right, and that's the fun part about craft beer. They really take tasting beer to a next level, which is the fun part about the craft beer.
Part of it, yeah. Now you said that there is an expansion going on.
Yes.
Right now you produce, you said, about 300 barrels, and you're looking to double that. Is that where we want to just end all be all, or are we looking even farther than that? How's the expansion going?
Yeah, we'll probably actually triple that. We'll go to about 1,000 barrels, which is not a lot of beer at all.
Still?
Comparative to
It
some
seems
of the
like a
big-
lot to me, but I don't know the
it's
business all
very
that well.
small. It's very small. But we would like to keep growing
Yeah.
as we go. We do it at Keuka Brewing at our location. So we are limited in water, the number of wells that we draw from, and this is all well water that we filter and soften and treat to make beer with
On premise?
on premise.
That's impressive. So you guys have quite the facility going on already.
We do, yes.
How long is the expansion going to take? How long is it looking?
Not really long. Our equipment's due in probably the end of June. and the building's going up now, which will take a couple weeks. We're hoping by mid-July, August, we'll be into the
Full swing of
yeah,
it?
full swing.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we want to start doing some more barrel-aged beers. We did one last year. We were using wine barrels, old wine barrels. And
Like
putting
oaky,
beer.
like
Yep.
an oaky flavor to them. Yeah.
This was a Pinot.
Yep, we
barrel.
got Pinot Noir barrels from Keuka Springs.
What did that do to the beer? How did that affect the beer?
Well, you let it sit in there for a little while, and it'll pick up some other bacteria it will impart some different flavors if people aren't used to like sour beers, like Brett beers and stuff like that. So that was the first one we did, and it actually came out really well. It was a Saison Noir, and it was received very well. So we're gonna try
And when
do a
they
few
say
more of those.
bacteria, it's not like it's bad. It's
Oh, no.
that's how the process goes.
That's how fermentation works.
Yeah, that's how it works a little bit. So don't
Yeah.
freak out when they say
Yeah,
bacteria. You'd be like, oh my god, bacteria! What are they
In the greatest
doing?
sense of the word.
Definitely.
Now, where can you find Keuka Brewing Company beer for sale?
We have
For the most part.
2 distributors that distribute out our product. One in the Manhattan, New York area, and one in Rochester, AJ's Beer Warehouse on Clay Road. And they distribute the product then regionally to Rochester, Syracuse, and Buffalo. We do have local, very local Cuca Lake restaurants. Just about every bar and restaurant around Cuca Lake carries our product.
One of the things that you did tell me, now is this the coffee one that you
Yes.
told me about? Oh, I'm so excited about this. This is I'm so excited about the coffee. One of the things you did.
Oh,
Go ahead.
this is the third beer we entered in the Tap New York to win the FX Mac Cup. It's our local mocha stout. So we use local coffee from Pinyan, Cuca Lake Coffee Roasters, and a couple types of chocolate. And it's a sweet stout, so it's more like a dessert beer.
I have a sweet tooth, so it's good.
That'll work.
What does that taste like?
Like a chocolate-covered espresso bean.
It does. You are correct. Yes.
I've drank a
Chocolate.
little bit before, so.
Yeah, you have a little bit of an idea of what I'm thinking.
had it
here? He's done this before.
And we do different dark beers. He did a maple pecan porter that was absolutely fantastic. We want to start canning, actually. We're going from bottles, transition from bottles to cans, 16-ounce cans, and hopefully with the new expansion we'll be able to do that. So you'll see our product in 16-ounce cans, hopefully by fall.
Cool.
And this will be one of them, right?
And this is going to be one of the beers.
These
We'll be
right
canning
off the
one of
bat,
these,
yeah.
yeah.
Now, have you ever had like a beer you're like, ooh, I can't make that anymore of that? Have you had default ones through your couple of years of experience?
No, never had anything.
No,
bad.
never anything
right.
bad. No, no.
We have dumped beer before, yes.
Yeah.
And we're not afraid to dump beer if a batch goes bad.
You don't want to.
Again, that's a nice thing about being small. You can dump it.
It's
not
experimental and it's fun, so we don't.
It's fun.
You get to
really
play
get
around
crazy.
with
We
the
do
flavors.
play a lot
Yeah.
with different experiments.
I think that would be exciting. It's like something new every day.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. We're playing with a pumpkin. We do a pumpkin cream ale in the fall, and for some reason he's playing with that recipe again. So we
Changing it up a little
we
bit.
might be.
I mean, you don't want to keep brewing the same thing over and over again.
It's been fun.
You can always get better. That's
You know,
what I
and
say.
so when
can
you
always
come
get
up to
better.
the
That's a good
brewery,
theory, I like
you'll
that.
never know what you're going to taste. There's always something different. We do have a stable of beers that we produce, but we do like to have something unique if somebody comes up again and again. And we do have 4 seasonals that we produce. We do a winter spice, the honey kolsch in the spring. We do the blueberry wheat in the summer, and pumpkin in the fall.
And always a little bit of playing, a little bit of flirting with our beer a bit.
Oh, absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah.
Where can they find more information on Keuka Brewing Company?
We have a website.
Mhm.
It's KeukaBrewingCompany.com. The company is spelled out. And we
Facebook,
on Facebook
Twitter.
and Twitter.
Yep.
Nice.
Try to update it as regularly as possible.
Do you have like a membership group or anything like that people can become a part of just yet? Or is that in the
Yeah,
works?
just a growler club cards
Yeah.
that we do. If you come get a growler at the brewery, we'll give you a card for discount and free tastings.
See, well,
So-
I'm in. Oh goodness. Number one rule, don't hit the table.
Don't hit
What do
the
I do?
table.
All right, thank you guys so much for coming in.
It's a pleasure.
Mark,
Yeah.
Richard, thank you for
Tiffany.
coming. Yes, the Keuka Brewing Company, check it out if you guys want to. The coffee. You hit me with the coffee.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Good.
Thank you guys for joining us for this edition of FLX Made Podcast. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel and subscribe. Also check out our homepage, fingerlakes1.com, for all your news, sports, and weather that's updated throughout the day. We'll be back here next month with another locally made product. And I'm Tiffany Collinsworth of fingerlakes1.tv, and we'll catch you guys next time.